in order to catch the company's mob. I faked an illness and let my good brother manage the company. Who knew that while I was away, he would actually get together with my fiancé and bring the main shareholders to the conference room to re-vote for the heir. The shareholders who had been bribed by him beforehand raised their hands in agreement, but he only had 35% of the shares. The shareholders who supported me disagreed. Just then, my fiancée, Liu Ryan, walked in. She gave away the 10% shares I gave her as a gift. Plus, she would give one vote so that he would win. Liu Ryan and Song Renta exchanged secret glances. Just when they thought they had won, I pushed open the door with my assistant. When standing in the conference room, no one expected that I, who was seriously ill in bed, would suddenly appear at the door of the conference room. Everyone was flustered. Only Liu Ryan, Song Renta, and Uncle Lee, who supported him, were not flustered by my arrival. I looked at Liu Ryan, who used to act cute in my arms, and begged for pleasure. The next second, Song Renta turned her around and pulled her into his arms, holding her head tightly and kissing her passionately. When Song Renta's eyes turned to me, he was full of confidence and provocation. Everyone was afraid to breathe. Everyone knew that Liu Ryan was my fiancé, but at this moment, she was kissing Song Renta in his arms. They all looked at me, wanting to see how I would handle it. I rushed over and pulled Liu Ryan out of Song Renta's arms. Liu Ryan, what do you mean? You were my fiancé, but you were with my good brother. And when I was critically ill, you gave the shares I gave you to him to help him take over my company. Liu Ryan slapped me in the face. Not anymore. Our engagement is immediately terminated. I want to marry Song Renta, not you, a sick man. It turned out that she disliked me for not living long and not being able to give her a rich life. So she took the opportunity to find the next one. No wonder before I fell ill, she spoke well of Song Renta in my ear, asking me to hand over the company to him for temporary management. It turned out that it was premeditated. My eyes were red, and I clenched my fist tightly. This is the woman I loved with my life. It turned out that she never loved me, only loved my status. Song Renta hooked Liu Ryan's waist and pulled her into his arms. Big brother, why are you here? If you have a terminal illness, you should lie in bed. If you die in the bedroom, I will collect your body for you. Why are you so excited? Go back and lie down. I will take good care of the company in the future. You don't have to worry about it. After saying that, he pointed to Liu Ryan's neck, which was full of hickeys. Some of these hickeys are new. Some are old, dear. You were great last night while caring about my big brother. You worked hard on me. Big brother, feelings cannot be forced. She loves me now, not you. Don't be like a dog anymore. Holding on to her tightly, and Liu Ryan, seeing that things had come to this, stopped hiding it. That's right, don't be like a dog pestering me anymore. I don't love you. Looking at their disgusting faces, my mind went blank. Unexpectedly, they had been hooking up behind my back even earlier. I lifted my foot and kicked Song Renta hard, kicking him to the ground. I rushed over and put my hands around his neck, but Liu Ryan picked up a chair and smashed it on me. I felt pain and let go. Liu Ryan twisted her face and glared at me. If Renta has any problems, I will never forgive you, she threatened, and then rushed to Song Renta, checking his injuries with a distressed face. And Song Renta was obviously not in so much pain. I'm in pain here. You blow on it for me. Suddenly, red blood flowed from my forehead. The blood flowed down. I took one last deep look at Liu Ryan. Since this is her choice, I will let go and fulfill it. Even if she begs me to come back on her knees in the future, it is absolutely impossible. Song Renta glanced at Shang Guanhan mockingly. Your era has passed. Uncle Lee wants to transfer his shares to me, plus the 10% Ryan gave me. I now hold 5% more shares than you, and you are seriously ill. Someone has to take responsibility for the safety of the company. Ryan can't marry you, right? While Song Renta was speaking, he didn't forget to praise himself. He glanced at the door, his eyes signaling, are you going to walk out yourself, or do I have someone throw you out? Liu Ryan also raised her eyebrows, helping Song Renta. Shang Guanhan, Song Renta's ability is not worse than yours. Why can't he take charge of Dingfeng? If you were sensible, pack your things and leave. Go back to the hospital and continue to lie down and wait for death. I was almost amused to hear this. 3 years ago, his company was messed up by him and eventually declared bankruptcy. When he was desperate, I helped him out of the darkness and gave him shares to let him work in my company. He really had no management ability and almost brought down my branch. This is something I didn't tell you, Ryan. Just to save Song Renta some face, I raised my head and smiled meaningfully at Song Renta. Who said my era has passed? The Dingfeng I, Shang Guanhan, created. How can you steal it? Hearing this, Song Renta's face immediately sank. Before he could speak, Liu Ryan marked me first, Shang Guanhan. So, what if you created Dingfeng? Are we going to watch Dingfeng fall into a desperate situation because of your selfishness? Let's just watch and do nothing. Not only will I disagree, but even the shareholders will not agree. Why don't you transfer your shares to me? Consider it as compensation for the loss of my youth these years. After Liu Ryan shamelessly finished speaking, Song Renta also said, Big brother, I know you won't feel good being forced to step down, but you are already terminally ill. Shouldn't you give Dingfeng to someone who has the ability to take over, talent to run it? Don't you think so? The shareholders who were bought by Song Renta looked at me and said, Mr. Han, you can't ruin everyone's interest because of your selfishness. We don't need to be afraid. Anyway, Mr. Song now holds more shares than him. We can just throw him out together. The speaker was Uncle Lee. He's a veteran of Dingfeng. He created Dingfeng with me and also witnessed its growth. I don't know how Song Renta used his methods while I was in the hospital to buy off the people around me, which led to their downfall and forcing me to step down together. To be honest, Their betrayal made me feel extremely cold, facing a pair of eyes that wanted to push me into a desperate situation. I took a tissue and wiped the blood from my head. The smell of blood made Liu Ryan feel nauseous. She suddenly retched and ran to the nearby bathroom, and Song Rentu's suspicion was even stronger. Liu Ryan was pregnant a month ago. He told me with the pregnancy test sheet at that time that she was pregnant with my child. I was so happy that I gave her the shares as a reward. When Liu Ryan came back, Song Rentu hugged her tightly. His eyes were looking at me. Big brother, I forgot to tell you something. The child in Ryan's belly is mine, not yours. She takes medicine every time after sleeping with you. So she won't. She never uses that thing. It turned out that they had planned it long ago, using the child to trick me into giving shares, and then using these shares to force me to step down. I looked at them, being betrayed by my closest people. My heart was already turbulent. Song Renter thought he had won and laughed out loud. And the shareholders he had bribed no longer respected me. Mr. Han, you can pack your things and leave now, lest you be thrown out by Mr. Saul. That would be so embarrassing. Looking at the various marqueries and threats from everyone, I smiled indifferently, slowly suppressing my anger. My eyes kept looking straight at Song Rentu. Give me a reason for betraying me. Liu Ryan, and you. I want to know the answer. Song Rentu looked at me arrogantly. I've always disliked you, whether it's family background, education, or appearance. I'm not inferior to you, but you always live better and better. The day your company grew was the day my company went bankrupt, but you embraced the woman I liked, standing at the top and looking down on me. Also followed up. You were always either working or on business trips, and you don't understand romance. You're not like Rentu, who knows how to make me happy and takes me to a romantic sea of flowers to watch the sunrise. You only give me money. What else can you do? So it was for this reason that they betrayed me. I laughed self-deprecatingly. I work so hard every day so that she can live a carefree life, managing such a large company. How can I be idle every day? It seems that my consideration for them has become a mistake. This time, I am no longer angry. Instead, I calmly walked back to my own seat. Song Renta shouted at me dissatisfiedly. There is no place for you here anymore. I ignored him, but looked coldly at the bones that betrayed me. Liu Ryan. She raised her finger and pointed at me, cursing. Get down. That's Rentu's seat. Song Rentu laughed mockingly. Baby, just let him sit for a while. After all, he founded Ding Feng. Now it's ours. He must be reluctant to leave. I don't care about the words of this couple, because now I've let them all go. Seeing that I was calm and composed, the smile on Song Rentu's face slowly disappeared, turning into a sinister and vicious one. Call Balaya. Since he refuses to leave, we have to throw him out, right? He's already down and out, yet he's still so pretentious. Came roars from some shareholders. Now that things have come to this, I will no longer be polite to them. Since I have found them all, I will quickly deal with the problem. I stood up. At the same time, the assistant next to me also took out his mobile phone and made a phone call. You can come in.